We'll be reading from this today. I haven't been in the sun much for a couple of days. My forehead's getting white. It's not real bright red. I've been actually off my feet today for a change. And I'm like, interesting. Because at my age, my advanced years, I'm not quite what do you call it, a geriatric? Isn't that when you're over 80? I'm not sure. Well, wasn't it Naaman who had leprosy? 2 Kings 5. And Gehazi was one of the prophet's men, and he tried to profit off the prophet. Not a good idea. Prophets are sharp. You know, they'll know. They can see in a way that even, other anointed people can't see. They can, if a prophet is alive, in modern times, like today, yesterday, tomorrow. Should tomorrow get here? Lord. Oh, I noticed these. It's like there's a Chinook helicopter. I have to watch out for these 3 rotor blades circling around my head. I don't want to get swiped by them. That's what it looks like. To me, anyway. Helicopter blades. But, so, they can see you. They can hear you talking. Like, remember Daniel? They're like, how does Daniel know all this? They said, "Oh, king, what you say in your bedchamber, he can hear it. Because God gives him the extra set of ears. Like you got an angel that goes and listens and reports back to you." So this is kind of a fun thing that I like to do, is read the Bible. Read the old stories, because you learn also. Hold on. Here's why you need an orange Sharpie in your arsenal. Ooh, man, that's pungent. There's a fan over there blowing this way. Because then you got orange. Enough said. Okay. Now, let me try to make sure I pronounce these right. Naaman. N-A with a, okay. 2 Kings 5. Now Naaman, captain of the host of the king of Syria, was a great man with his master, and honorable, because by him the Lord had given deliverance unto Syria. He was also a mighty man in valor, and he was a leper. And the Syrians had gone out by companies and brought away captive out of the land of Israel a little maid, and she waited on Naaman's wife. And she said unto her mistress, "Would God my Lord were with the prophet that is in Samaria, for he would recover him of his leprosy." And one went in and told his Lord, saying, "Thus and thus said the maid that is of the land of Israel." So she was captured as a slave, right? And the king of Syria said, Go, and I will send a letter unto the king of Israel. And he departed and took with him 10 talents of silver, and 6,000 pieces of gold, and 10 changes of raiment. Okay, y'all know how heavy a talent is? 55 to 80 pounds. 10 talents of silver is 550 to 800 pounds of silver. That's a lot of silver. People had good silver and gold. Naaman, captain of the host of the king of Syria. But anyway, the king of Syria sent that money. And he brought the letter to the king of Israel, saying, "Now then, the letter is come unto thee. Behold, I have therewith sent Naaman my servant to thee, that thou mayest recover him of his leprosy. He sent all this money. This comes into the story. And it came to pass, when the king of Israel had read the letter, that he rent his clothes and said, Am I God to kill and to make alive, that this man does send unto me to recover a man of his leprosy? Wherefore consider, I pray you, and see how he seeketh a quarrel against me. So he was suspicious. And it was so, when Elisha, the man of God, had heard that the king of Israel had rent his clothes, he probably heard immediately, that he sent to the king and saying, Wherefore hast thou rent thy clothes? What's wrong? Let him come now to me, and he shall know that there is a prophet in Israel. So Naaman came with his horses and with his chariot, and stood at the door of the house of Elisha. And Elisha sent a messenger unto him, and saying, Go and wash in Jordan 7 times, the river, and thy flesh shall come again to thee, and thou shalt be clean. It's almost 3 o'clock. But Naaman was wroth, and went away, and said, Behold, I thought, he will surely come out to me, and stand, and call in the name of the Lord his God, and strike his hand over the place, and recover the leper. That's what he thought would happen. Are not Abana and Pharpar, rivers of Damascus, Pharpar, better than all the waters of Israel? May I not wash in them and be clean? So he turned and went away in a rage. How about that? And his servants came near and spake unto him and said, My father, if the prophet had bid thee to do some great thing, wouldest thou not have done it? How much rather than when he saith to thee, Wash and be clean? Or something real easy, simple. Just follow instructions, though, right? Then went he down and dipped himself 7 times in Jordan, according to the saying of the man of God, and his flesh came again like unto the flesh of a little child, and he was clean, so he didn't have the leprosy anymore. Bada boom, bada bing, the word of the prophet. And he returned to the man of God, he and all his company, and came and stood before him, and he said, Behold, now I know that there is no God in all the earth, but in Israel. Now therefore, I pray thee, take a blessing of thy servant. But he said, As the Lord liveth, Elisha said, As the Lord liveth, before whom I stand, I will receive none. And he urged him to take it, but he refused. And Naaman said, Shall there not then, I pray thee, be given to thy servant 2 mules burden of earth? For thy servant will henceforth offer neither burnt offering nor sacrifice unto other gods, but unto the Lord of Israel. In this thing the Lord pardoned thy servant, that when my master, the king of Syria, goeth into the house of Rimmon, false god, to worship there, and he leaneth on my hand, and I bow myself in the house of Rimmon. When I bowed down myself in the house of Rimmon, the Lord pardoned the servant in this thing. In other words, I'm not praying to that God no more. I'm praying to the God of Israel, the real God. And Elisha said unto him, and he said unto him, verse 19 of 2 Kings chapter 5, Go in peace. He said, okay. So he departed from him a little way. But Gehazi, the servant of Elisha, the man of God, said, Behold, my master has spared Naaman, this Syrian, in not receiving of his hands that which he brought. But as the Lord liveth, I will run after him and take somewhat of him. I was checking the time. So Gehazi followed after Naaman, and when Naaman saw him running after him, he lighted down from the chariot to meet him and said, Is all well? And he said, all is well. My master has sent me, no he didn't, saying, behold, even now there be come to me from Mount Ephraim 2 young men of the sons of the prophets. Give them, I pray thee, a talent of silver and 2 changes of garments. Now Naaman said, be content, take 2 talents. And he urged him, and bound 2 talents of silver in 2 bags, with 2 changes of garments, and laid them upon 2 of his servants, and they bare them before him. And when he came to the tower, he took them from his hand, and bestowed them in the house. And he let the men go, and they departed. But he went in and stood before his master. And Elisha said unto him, whence comest thou, Gehazi? And he said, thy servant went no whither. And he said, I didn't go anywhere. Guilty as sin. And he said unto him, went not my heart with thee when the man turned again from his chariot to meet thee? Is it a time to receive money and to receive garments and olive yards and vineyards and sheep and oxen and men servants and maidservants? The leprosy therefore of Naaman shall cleave unto thee and unto thy seed forever. And he went out from his presence, a leper as white as snow. Oh, and next is a story about the flying axe head that floated. The lead axe head floats. Chapter 6 of 2 Kings. That's another good story. I'll read the first couple of verses. And the sons of the prophets said unto Elisha, behold now, the place where we dwell with thee is too strait for us. Let us go, we pray thee, unto Jordan, and take thence every man a beam, and let us make a place there where we may dwell. And he answered, go ye. 2 Kings chapter 6. We'll be reading from this today. I haven't been